So Charlie, one last question, because this is how roll calls are done. Did you witness an all in favor or a roll call? There's only two ways it can happen. Which one did you witness?
I'm going to make this really clear. Okay, what is going on right now is a bunch of baloney.
Which part?
A resume got turned in. We dealt with this in the previous administration on 2 different occasions and then wanted to rescind it. Okay, so at this immediate point, sorry to tell you, when I hear that I did this or I did that, no.
Was there an all in favor or a roll call vote? Was the motion read and then a roll call?
You basically made a broadcast today. This is a fact. He has shared how this person and that person has spoke against the previous or pending clerk at this time. You know what? I didn't speak against. I'm not speaking for. We'll have a meeting tonight.
Was there
I was
a roll
accused
call
of violations
or an all
of
in
the
favor?
Open Meetings Act. There were no violations of the Open Meetings Act, only between your ears at this point. I did not, nor did I ever have where there was more. And right now, we're in a violation of the Open Meetings Act. Because if the clerk is still here, she's in the room. So
You're correct.
there you go. No comment. I'm done. I'm not doing it. She's standing right there. So when you accuse me over there of violating the Open Meetings Act, and I know I never have, she's standing right here.
So you heard what we were doing there?
No, I went and I got my copy and I come back, and that's right when you said I violated the Open Meetings Act. I'm done. I'm done.
There wasn't no roll call, or there was no all in favor?
I'm done.
That's the factual statement.
Here's the deal. Legal will tell you yes, no, 5 words or less. And I have a legal right at this point in time. You know what? Everybody seems to tell me what they think I did. Do me a big favor. You know, do me a favor.
That's for sure.
I'm just going to, she said check video. My main thing is if they crossed in, that's what you need. But I'll just review that and then I'll be out of here.
Hey, hold on.
Oh,
This is what I know. Because I've not watched any video. So I'm going to pull up the recording. This is what I know.
By that time, we're going to have that house, the whole house is AD.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have you.
See.
I told her I had a feeling something was happening. I had a feeling. Internal desk that have made it impossible for me to clerk a code.
I didn't see the date on me when we started talking to Don.
Yes.
As such, I have some serious ask for another one. It hasn't even been do it for this purpose when they submit the site plan. In addition to that, from 2018, on that this time, clearly it has an action being given that bill.
Roll call.
He was doing what Don Hamill was the hired planner by us.
Don said, you know, I never can't believe what you say either.
Kayla and Commission. This decision comes at board members and Coquitlam Township residents. Effective immediately, I am resigning from my position as clerk of Coquitlam, County of Bay, Michigan. I also immediately resign from my position on Planning Commission. This decision comes after ongoing and unacceptable conditions within the workplace that have made it impossible for me to continue. The lack of professionalism, respect, and support from board members has created an environment that I can no longer tolerate or be a part of. I will go as far to say that I believe I am been subjugated to sabotage after I was appointed to the Planning Commission. The only reason I lasted as long was because because of the support I received from the supervisor, my deputy, and front desk. I will not resign for any transition or handover period. My employment with the municipality ends as the delivery of this letter. Serving the residents of Coquitlam has been a privilege, but internal work environment has left me with no other choice but to step away immediately. I ask the board to accept my resignation on this day of December 8th, 2025. Sincerely, Kayla Schlander.
I make a motion to accept the resignation without actually accepting the wording of the letter. Nice job on it, though.
Nice
Anybody
job,
want to second that?
Second motion, accepting the resignation.
Yes.
Now we're in discussion.
And so, talking with Katie Zanotti last week, I had told her I had a feeling something was happening. So I told her I haven't received the resignation, but she hasn't shown up for work for days. So she says she's at home, don't feel good. So I went there and asked her, protocols. I said, we have an election coming up. I don't want the township to be, in a bad predicament. What do we do here? So there's a lot of different issues, including payroll and other things that are happening within the township now. But she did make a statement that concerned me, and that was that Charlie was in a few months ago and asked what happens if the clerk resigns. Well, it ends up being at about the same time when she says a few months that she was put on the planning commission. Now, did she get put on the planning commission? She asked to be. She was wanting to be elected again. She wanted experience. So, to me, this is heartbreaking because I'm going to tell you what, if there was anything wrong with Kayla Schlander, she had too big of a heart.
All right, so let me just jump in, because I had a conversation with Kayla when you decided to appoint her to the planning commission, and I talked to her and I said, Kayla, this really is not a good idea. You need to learn your job before you try to learn zoning. Before you try to learn all this other part, you need to learn your job first. I understand you want to branch out, but you need to get good at what you do first. And so I checked, because, word was going around, apparently, that she was going to resign tonight before we were notified. Kind of interesting. So I actually checked to see how much she had actually been doing in the system. And I just found it to be kind of interesting. So the clerk's office is responsible for accounts payable, responsible for payroll, and has some things to do in the general ledger. Those are 3 different applications that we have. My part in those, well, a little bit more in general ledger, but my part in those has to do with reconciling. Reconciling each month, I have to clear out everything that comes out of the payroll check, every AP check, so on and so forth, and do some general ledger postings, journal postings. So I actually looked, 4/15, I believe, is when she was actually appointed in, and she had Greg in there, and we were told that with all the years of experience that Greg had, that he would be great at training her and getting everything just working fantastically. So in the time from 4/15 to 12/3, there were a total of 527 records created in the general ledger system. I actually went down and saw how many were hers. Out of 527, 34 were hers. That is just over 6% of the work that was happening in the general ledger. Payroll from 4/15 to 12/1/25, there was 1,528 records during that time. Of those, she was responsible for 37 out of 1,528. Just over 2% of the activity happening in payroll. In accounts payable, 4/15/25 to 12/8/25, there was 1,895 records created. Of those, Kayla's name was on 73 of them, which is almost 4% of the work that was completed in 8 months. So, had she actually been taking the time to do her job and to learn her job, she probably wouldn't have been so stressed out. Instead of having Greg do it and then not being able to fix the errors that were made, which were brought up many, many times, dating all the way back to when she started, that still haven't been fixed.
So, Mr. Shana, with you stating that, it brings something up. Your niece who worked for the township and was your deputy treasurer, you told me how you just stacked them up and let her do them at night. What do you think the percentage would be if you were to look in the mirror?
Well, reconciliations. I always have, thank you. I do all the reconciliations. You don't even know what happens in my office. You're too busy doing
Excuse me, I never had work for our township. We didn't have to quorum here. It's getting way out of hand with every one of these frickin' meetings, and it's gotta stop.
And regarding Kayla, it's kind of null and void to bring up whatever percentage is not because she's done.
No,
Does it make sense for you guys to bicker back and forth about it?
Is it null and void to bring up the emotional attachment and how it didn't work out because it was so sad too?
Hey, that's it. I got nothing
Well,
on
we got
that.
both sides of the equation.
Yeah, but
Thank you.
And then look at Greg and Sherry. How much work did Greg do when he was the treasurer, the clerk for how long? And he was doing Sherry and how much Molly. I know it.
Mine
Molly
goes
was
back
doing
with
all
Roy
that.
and everybody was, this didn't happen though. We didn't have input to your conversations. So I'm just gonna say that. I wish we could act to that. And that starts here, that you rise above each other's silliness, right? And you are professional. But I opened my mouth because that was number one. You didn't
So-
need to do that. That's
So, we accepted the clerk's resignation?
Yes.
But I want to make a comment.
See?
When I went over
No,
to
look.
our county
didn't.
clerk's office,
You didn't
I
vote.
went
That's
there
your assumption.
because the comment was made.
That's your assumption.
Special assessment, millage,
You just said you're recording. You claimed incidents.
$15,000 for special.
I'm just
election.
saying, here's the recording.
There was no all in favor. There was no roll call.
So what, you failed to do your job?
Yes. Yes. That is 100% what I'm saying.
Mr. Eddy,
That's it.
a person resigned. A person
And
resigned.
you have to do it correctly.
A person resigned. There you go.
They didn't, it wasn't accepted. That's the whole
We're
thing.
working
Charlie.
on
That's
an
the
election and we
reality.
didn't do that properly.
What do you mean?
We haven't had any meetings of the election board. Come on. There's so many
So
not
what does
rights
that have
here
to do? What
that
does
it's a
that have to do
mess.
with? I just went through a recording with the MTA, and they told you listen to how a motion's supposed to go. It's either supposed to have a roll call or an all in favor. There was no roll call,
Yeah,
no all in favor.
Brad,
I stand by.
we have a legal meeting tonight.
Yeah, and you guys are going to manipulate that too.
Oh, that's the sad part. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna review for the jobs.
Nope, I'm
Okay.
pleased with what you just listened to, because you are a professional.
I have no
Witness.
issue with what
You
You know
are
what?
a professional witness. Is that not correct?
That is correct.
That is correct.
And I have not lied to you, and that is
I-
correct. And I let you listen to a recording of the day's event from 12/8 from that exact meeting, Mr. Eddy.
You said you voted. You told the officer you voted.
Don't put words in my mouth, Mr. Eddy.
You said you voted.
Don't put words in my mouth, Mr. Eddy.
You didn't vote. You claimed that a video call was not. You were there.